Oh yeah, I did see this. They actually shut down the Scourge event, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, let me go ahead and watch this. So here we go. Yeah, they shut down the zombie event. Now, I want to say also, like, this is exactly what happened back in the old days.
So you just hit level 70 after grinding tirelessly through Outland. Or maybe you just boosted and you're in that silly looking gear that Daddy Blizzard gave you, ready to make your mark on the world. But there's just one big problem standing in your way.
What's that?
I need healing.
That's right, everybody.
Yep.
The Scourge invasion is underway and in full swing across Azeroth. Or is it? There's a lot of you coming back to World of Warcraft right now that have been away for a very long time, and maybe you're just not familiar with the game or with Wrath of the Lich King or how this expansion is getting started. So I'd like to talk about that today and talk about some recent controversial decision making that Blizzard has made that has really divided the player base, and you'll see what I mean in a moment.
Okay, let's see it.
Years ago, at the beginning of Wrath of the Lich King, there was this event called the Scourge Invasion. Now, this was a very...
It's still so crazy to me that that cinematic came out in 2008 or 2007. And it's like you look at it now and it still looks fucking amazing.
Divisive event back in the day, and it certainly has been divisive now.
Yeah.
This event is essentially broken into two main categories. The first one is the Scourge invasions across different zones. If you're somebody that just hit level 70 or you boosted a character, you're going to want to pay attention to this. Right now, across Azeroth, there are a ton of Scourge necropolises that are invading various zones. Just look for these little skulls on your map whenever you look at the world. And by going to these locations, you'll find these necrotic runes with undead spawning around them. And you can spend some time killing them to get necrotic runes that can be used as a currency to purchase gear and other items in Stormwind or Orgrimmar. Or you can even find gear drops directly off of rare spawns or shades that will spawn at these locations.
Damn, I didn't know that.
Fantastic way, an easy way for people who have just hit level 70 to get some epic gear that do not want to do the Ultric Valley grind that most people are doing right now.
Pussies.
If you're a pure PvE player, then going out and grinding some necrotic runes and killing these rares is definitely for you. It's also a great way to get things like the Argent Dawn Tabard for those that don't have it, or even weapon enchants for undead slaying, and these are going to be very, very useful in Wrath of the Lich King, so right now I'm stocking up on them. And the best part is that these Scourge invasions across the various zones are bringing people together, because there's naturally a lot of people that want to get this gear. There's a lot of people getting these weapon enhancements of undead slaying, and so there's a lot of people right now interacting with each other across Azeroth, community members and so on and so forth. And even low-level players can participate in this event in their various starting zones, so it's not just limited to max-level players, so have fun with it.
Yeah, this used to also happen.
But then there is the second side of this event, the side that is more controversial and has left the community very divided. And that is the undead plague that has spread across Azeroth. Originally, this event begins with just a couple of suspicious crates located in places like in Booty Bay. You click them, you get diseased, and then you can spread this disease to other players. It's no big deal. However, over time, what will happen is more people will become infected, plagued cockroaches and other insects and rats will appear in various cities, and suddenly you just have the entire server is overwhelmed with zombies and this undead plague. If you were to go to a place like Stormwind or Ironforge or Orgrimmar, it doesn't matter. You will see thousands of corpses of players, skeletons strewn all over the place. It is ridiculous. And for those of you guys that are spamming Ultric Valley right now, you're not safe either, because there are people accidentally or maybe intentionally bringing the undead plague into Ultric Valley to plague the players, to get them killed, to pretty much guarantee a loss for whichever side is forced to endure this undead plague.
I think that's clearly not fun for anybody else. It's funny that it happened, but it's good that they fixed it. Does that make sense? Like I can look back on that and smile, but also that's not the way the game should work.
Now, you're probably sitting there thinking, damn, this sounds like the greatest event in World of Warcraft history. And you would be correct, but there's a lot of people that would say that you're wrong. Naturally, as you can imagine,
people hated it
there
back
are a
then
lot
too.
of people frustrated by this event. People trying to quest, people trying to work the auction house in Stormwind and are unable to do so. There are people just trying to play the game normally, and this whole undead event, this plague that is spreading across Azeroth has kind of thrown a wrench through their window, metaphorically speaking. Because of this, tons of people have gone to the forums, they've gone to YouTube comment sections, and just all over the place talking about how this Undead Plague event is a giant load of horse shit and how Blizzard needs to disable it because it's ruining the game. And this is what has caused the division, because...
And I think this is the best part, is that this is literal fucking nostalgia. This is what happened back in the day. They started this event, people went absolutely fucking ape-dick about it. They were furious. And so finally they fixed it, they got rid of it. This is the exact same thing that happened in 2008.
There's a lot of people that think that the Undead Plague event is a very good mood-setting event that establishes the feel of Wrath of the Lich King and the fun that is to come once the expansion comes out with its creativity. But on the other side of the fence, you've got people complaining that this event is too intrusive, it breaks the game too much, and so on and so forth. You know, the funny thing is, for those of us that did play Wrath of the Lich King back in the day, this is exactly how the community reacted to the Undead Scourge Plague event.
Bro, my mom was like, if they don't turn this zombie shit off, I'm not even gonna play Wrath of the Lich King. I've had enough. Like, she was so fucking... That's a good one, wow. And Nixium, you can use this one for your next thumbnail if you want.
All those years ago, there were tons of people that loved it and look back on it with great nostalgia. There are people that absolutely hated it and thought it was the most annoying thing that Blizzard ever thought of. It really is like bringing back those old Wrath vibes, you know what I mean? At least for someone like me that played back then. I think it's funny. Maybe you guys too, I don't know. But for me it is.
However, I feel like it played out exactly the way I wanted it to. It was a massive inconvenience for everyone. People were furious about it, pissed off constantly, and then after a while, Blizzard got rid of it again. I think it was perfect.
Despite your opinions on the Scourge invasions and the Undead Plague event across Azeroth, if you were to log into the game right now, you probably would discover something kind of, well, normal. You would see tons of players in Stormwind walking around. You wouldn't see skeletons or anything, and you probably would wonder, what the heck happened? Well, I'll tell you what happened. Blizzard listened to all the whining. Blizzard listened to all the people that were screaming about how the Undead Plague event was causing too many problems, and so Blizzard canceled the event early.
I don't know why they couldn't just have, like, a tent out in front of Stormwind and, like, Ironforge and Orgrimmar and stuff, with, like, one of them's, like, an auctioneer, the other one is, you know, like class trainers and, you know, like a weapon trainer or something like that. Like, that's what they should, like, I would have been fine with that if they wanted to keep doing the event. But I do think that Blizzard made the right decision in canceling the event. I do genuinely think so.
You'll see the Argent Dawn people around if you want to turn in your Scourge invasion necrotic runes and stuff. You'll still find quests that are going to tell a little bit more of the storyline of the event and what's going on. But the towns have returned to normal. Cities...
Oh yeah, of course, right? Event was annoying as hell. The thing is, like, I've always kind of said that any time that you can prevent a player from doing something, like, it is not a good system in the game to allow players to kill the auctioneers so like other people can't use the auction house. This is not good for the game. It's not. Like, an average person, if somebody logs in after work and they can't use the auction house, it's like, what the fuck? It's griefy. Like, what the fuck are you talking about? Like, of course this isn't fun. Like, it's fun for a while. Like, I think that, again, it's fun for, like, a week or so, right? But then you want to be able to play the game. And you can't play the game because people do it more and more because they know it's making people mad. So you have this fucking thing where it's like now as soon as it starts happening and they get the reaction, then it happens all the time. So now there's never a time that you can use the auction house because people are always killing the auctioneers because they know it's going to get a reaction out of people. So now Blizzard has engineered a situation where half of the fucking systems in the game are completely unusable because players are trying to troll each other and make the game unplayable. This is not good. It's not good. It wasn't good in 2008. It's not good now. I know that it might not seem like it's a big deal to you because maybe you understand that, oh, I can go to another layer and I can use the auction house there, or I can go to Darnassus, and it's like all these extra things that you have to do. You have to look at it from the eyes of an average player. They log on, they can't use the fucking game, they get killed by zombies, and they're just like, well, what the fuck is this? I can't do anything, can't play the game. You see what I mean? Like, it's immersion. I don't think it is immersion. I think it's just annoying. Yeah, it's just, yeah, it's for limited time. It was fine. Canceling it was a bitch move. No, it wasn't. It was not, absolutely, it was not a bitch move. Like, it was not a bitch move at all. Yeah, I mean, shit, I don't care about them. They're insects, but yeah, it's just, I was chasing level 6 in Goldshire. I think it's cool, but that's just me. I think that most of the people that thought it was cool probably either weren't trying to use the auction house, aren't even playing the game, or for some reason don't need to. Like, if you need to use the auction house, what do you do? What do you do? So you just can't use the auction house now? Well, what if they kill the ones in Darnassus? Why can't they just kill the ones in Darnassus? I mean, really, you go to Exeter, kill the ones there? I think so many people are so selfish. Anytime that you give players the tools to ruin another person's experience, players will use them. And it will not be good for your game. Immersion shouldn't be persevered at the expense of fun. Exactly. Yeah, it's like a lot of people don't get immersed. It's the opposite that happens, and they don't want to play the game anymore. It's not fun.
Have returned to normal, but I will say that one thing that has not returned to normal, and that is the community. The community is still very much divided, in fact even more so divided because of this decision making. Many people want the event to continue. They want it to be just like it was before Wrath of the Lich King came out. They don't want it to go away. They want it to be a unique, memorable moment in World of Warcraft's history. However, there's a lot of people too, they want it gone. They're happy that Blizzard disabled it. They're like, hey, we got a couple of days of it, that's enough, and screw it. And is it likely that Blizzard is going to undo their decision and bring back the undead invasion across Azeroth, the undead plague? Most likely they're not going to do that. So unfortunately, those of us that were having a lot of fun going around just trolling people and just having a good time in between our Ultric Valley spamming, well, I guess it was fun while it lasted. Yeah, just a shame that it ended so early, but
yeah, it was fun while it lasted.
I guess that's okay. What do you all think, though? Those of you that are watching this video, do you think that Blizzard should have kept the event going? Should they have gotten rid of it earlier? Like, what do you guys think? Either way, despite the event causing chaos, I have continued my Ultric Valley growth.
Yeah, I think that the event went perfectly. If you want my honest opinion, I think that it went absolutely perfectly. They brought it out. It was a complete chaos for a week, and then they got rid of it. I think that Blizzard handled it exactly the way that they should have. Because people said, oh, well, we want it back. We want it to be like the original. And Blizzard's like, no, you don't. They're like, yes, we do. We're like, all right, here you go. And they're like, I don't want it. Get it away from me. And they're like, see? And there you go. So I think that was totally fucking fair. Like, I don't know. I think that Blizzard handled it perfectly. They gave people what they wanted. It was just as fucking annoying as it was originally. And here we are again.
I am almost done with my entire Brutal Gladiator set, but I must say it has still been an absolute pain in the ass for those of us that are doing the AV grind right now and just trying to get this Brutal Gladiator gear. Let me tell you.
Oh, yeah. That's the thing, right? Is like somebody goes in. Here, like, what is the logic behind somebody can go in, like, let's establish something. If you are playing Warsong Gulch and you take the flag and then you glitch the flag into a place where the other team can't capture the flag or can't click the flag and turn it in, we would all agree that's griefing, right? Like, that's 100% griefing. Like, you take the flag, you put it somewhere where the other team is, like, massively... Right. Okay, so how is that griefing? But somebody goes in with the fucking, the plague, and they kill everybody at the start of AV. That's not fun for 39 other people. It's the same thing. Yeah, that's what I'm saying, is like that was possible. What I'm saying is that infecting people and bringing it into AV and like getting your team killed at the beginning, this is clearly not a good experience for people. Most people don't want to do that. They just want to be able to play AV. And whenever you give one person the power to ruin 39 other people's game, I'm sorry, but I'd be doing it. I would have been one of the reasons it was changed. 100%. I love making people mad. It's one of the only things that makes me happy. That's why I know it's bad. That's why I know that, like, hey, this is, they're going to do it. They're going to do it. That's what it is. Fastest on our forever. Yeah, because you're different. No, I am. I'm an asshole. But, like, I know that. That's what I'm saying, is I know that this is the thing that people will do. It's memorable. Literally once time ever event. It's memorable. I mean, I feel like other people remember things. I think that all the people that are defending being able to do stuff like that and killing all the auctioneers and the quest givers and shit, these people are simply unable to ever think in the mind of another person. They're unable to even comprehend the idea that other people do not have that same value. They don't give a fuck. They don't care about the immersion of the game. They want to be able to get their gear and get ready for Wrath of the Lich King because they want to raid with their friends. You know, like people that they raided with back in the day. They log on and the quest givers are killed. They can't level up. Like, what the fuck? It's not a memorable experience for them. It just makes them mad. Fuck that. It's always a bad idea whenever you give a one player the ability to control another player's gameplay. Always a bad idea. Without them having the option to opt out of it.
What? If you haven't seen my video where I talked about the current state of World of Warcraft Wrath of the Lich King PvP, you gotta watch the video linked on your screen right now, because if you are not involved or aware of the World of Warcraft PvP scene, it is a nightmare.
That is so good. I love it.
Definitely want to be a part of it.
Amazing work, Nixium. Absolutely amazing work. Holy shit, that's so good. Oh my god. Alright, let me see this here. Yeah, let me link that to you guys. God damn. There it is. That's a good video. I didn't even know what happened. Crap players are always going to complain whenever they can't adapt. So, like, how do you adapt to a quest giver getting killed? Or the auctioneers getting killed? Like, what do you mean adapt? Like, you think it's like do something else? Yeah, you just go, wait, log off? Like, what are you talking about, adapt? It's just fucking annoying. Yeah, they're going to adapt and they're going to play something else. Go back to Shadowlands. Go back to Final Fantasy. Play another game. I think that there's a lot of people, again, it's like these, like, I think a lot of it is like kids. Because it's like young kids that can't understand. It's like whenever you're younger, right? You don't have the ability to, like, perceive empathy and see things from other people's perspective. Your brain isn't developed that much. So, like, maybe that's why there's so many people that feel this way. But the reality is that, yes, a lot of people do not enjoy having their time wasted by some kid that's killing their quest givers. This is not a fun time. They can't opt out of it. This isn't a PvP on a PvP server situation. This is happening to all servers all of the time with no way to opt out of it or not deal with it. That's not good for the game. It's that simple. Yeah, I mean, it's just, that's what it is. That's what makes it fun. The problem is that, like, whenever you give a person the opportunity to have fun at the expense of somebody else's frustration, you will create more frustration than fun. Because one person can frustrate 20 people. Like, I could make 40 people mad in like a few minutes. So, well, why would somebody want, how is it good for your game if you have a handful of malicious people making everybody else mad? Yeah, why would somebody, like, I think these are people that literally, like, they have, like no social intelligence at all. Literally zero social intelligence. It's insane. Peanut brain, yeah, like, what do you mean? Like, they're, like, mentally incapable of viewing things from any perspective other than their own. You know, counter the invasion, flying mount, and go to Ironforge for auction house. Actually never died to the invasion a single time. I didn't either. Yeah, I didn't either, but what if they kill the auctioneers at Ironforge? You see what I'm saying? Yeah, old Asmon was a bit of a dick himself, wasn't he now? Old Asmon was the worst player that you could possibly imagine. The things that I would do, like, I'm telling you guys, like, I would fucking ninja guild banks. I would impersonate officers and pretend to be them and then tell them that I'm somebody's alt and then get into the guild bank. I would fucking ninja loot. I would roll on loot and then sell it back to the other members in the guild. I would kick people out of raids randomly. Like, every bad thing that you can possibly imagine a person could do in the game, I probably made a guide on how to do it. I was the one that made the guide on how everybody else learned how to do it. I made a whole video on how to ninja loot. That's how I know. You're basically a WoW player, exactly. That's why you love WoW. I think that it was a lot of fun to be able to do that, but you just can't run a game that's based off of that. These are not contradictory statements. I love ruining other people's fun. And I also don't think that games should let you do that. Now, if they let me do it, I will do it. But I don't think that they should allow it to happen. It's that simple. A 1 week long event does not shape an entire game. I think it does. It's a lot of people come back for the pre-patch and, you know, their first impression of the game is being killed over and over by zombies chasing them down. They can't play the game. They can't do their quests because the quest givers are dead. Yeah, I think a lot of people would just be fucking annoyed. It's the same thing as the queues. Like, somebody logs in, they're in a queue for 6 hours, they're not going to play the game. It sucks. So yeah, what the guy says is true. Don't know how people can't see that. Yeah, I just... It's the reason why they can't see it is because they just want to be able to annoy people and be obnoxious. That's why. That's the whole reason. And if you... So you have to understand that, like, what people want... Now you him? Yeah, what people want is they want to be obnoxious and annoying. So if you work backwards from that, everything else makes sense. It's 100% the same thing with queues. Huge turn off for gamers. Yeah, nobody wants to fuck with that, man. People also enjoy the event from the lore perspective. I don't think that you need to have that happen. I think that it was done perfectly. I think that it was in the game for a week or so. People didn't like it. It became an annoyance, and then they got rid of it. I think that Blizzard handled this perfectly. I'm going to be honest. I think they handled it absolutely perfectly. So yeah, the actual raid content. Yeah, nobody cares about the lore whenever you can't log in. You can't level up. It's like a fucking Maslow's hierarchy of needs. At the very top is lore, but down there at the bottom tiles, we're talking about being able to play the game, use the auction house, and level up your character. You can't do that. You're not going to give a fuck about the lore. Let's be smart. As for most normal people, WoW isn't the only game they play. Normal people just play something else if they get annoyed. Yeah, or they're mad at the game. I don't think that's good either. Anyway, we can go back and forth about this forever. I think that, yeah, it makes sense what they did. I think it's a smart thing to do, and they handled it very well. In general, that's what I think. Let's go back. I guess I'll watch this one, sure. There's a couple of other things that I wanted to look at as well. And let's see if I find this here. Oh, I was actually going to watch some of the New World stuff, but I'm going to watch this one first. Problem is the attack lasted way too long for each attack. Yeah. Each wave should be like 10 minutes tops and a long time between attacks. Yeah, I think that if it wasn't just an ongoing thing and people could just wait for a little while for it to go away, it would be all right.